You're listening to the 9th episode of Welcome to Fairmont, I think. This might also be the 7th or the 8th. I'm not really sure anymore. So if you want to make a valiant effort to figure out which number episode this is, you could look us up on YouTube where we've put all of our previous episodes. Unless you're already listening to us there, then don't do that. What I can tell you for certain is that Welcome to Fairmont is, and always has been, written, performed, and edited by Colleen Fries and Alana Orion. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy.
If you're listening, are you certain that you exist? Welcome to Fairmont. The orchestra contest has come and passed, and this has brought some of this year's rivalries back to attention.
Now, before we get into all of that, perhaps a bit of background on the contest itself?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Every year, each of the groups in our school music department participates in a contest with other schools. At least, we assume that they're other schools. They're really just a bunch of people that show up and compete with our musical skills. We've never seen their faces, though, because of the mandatory protective robes we're all required to wear.
The orchestra contest occurred last week, though the choir and we assume the band have yet to participate in theirs. We don't have any solid information on the band, though, since they have way too many inside jokes and are apparently a cult, according to the hooded figure that just showed up here and left again.
That was actually not the least bit abnormal.
Not at all.
Hello, Psyche, Harmony. It's been a while since I last visited. I thought an appearance was nigh overdue.
And I'd almost started to think you'd stop showing up.
Did you really think I'd stop coming just because I hadn't been here for a little while? I'm a very busy witch, you know.
And you always make time for party crashing our show. How charming.
I try. I just wanted to come congratulate you two on your success at contest. You are both in orchestra, right?
Yes, but I'd hardly call it a success. The living and the dead are getting along worse now than they ever were before we were all locked in a room together.
But you scored really high, didn't you?
That's kind of beside the point right now.
There's a point.
Yes, there's a point. The point is that no one's getting along. This has always been the point.
Has it? I thought the point was... Oh, I probably shouldn't say that.
Well, wait, say what?
Bye!
No, wait, what were you gonna say?
I will never understand her.
I don't think anyone expects you to.
Well, at least she brought us back around to the point that we were trying to get to. The rift between the ghosts and the living humans has grown since it began, and now we're hearing rumor of students on both sides of the feud going missing. People have started ignoring Harmony and I because we're still friends. Patrick and Willie, well, I don't even know where to start with them.
Since the incident between them and the radio station that pulled the director out of their office, they've been increasing the tension between their respective groups. Lily and Patrick, in addition to displaying alarming attitudes towards one another, have started showing alarming abilities as well. We don't yet know what exactly these abilities are, since we've been mildly terrified to approach either of them, but we have heard that the disappearances of students are directly tied to them.
These are troubled times, listeners. And as your radio hosts, it's our job to bring things into the light and to report them to you.
That being said, I think we should discuss a little more about contest.
Sounds fair. This is a 341-year-old tradition that our school has been hosting every year. People show up, people play their instruments, people get a mysterious rating that no one truly understands the meaning of, and people leave. That's the process, but there's so much more to it.
It's an opportunity for our musicians to show off their skills. I mean, it does take a truly skilled person to play a stringed instrument. They've been known to eat fingers before. It's a wonder we haven't had it happen to anyone recently. Knock on wood.
I wish. You know how hard it is for me to, interact with things?
Yes, Psyche. I know. I've seen you try to operate the soundboard.
Don't bring that up.
Anyway.
Right. It's also an opportunity for us to build relationships with people from other places as they come here from all of the mysterious cracks in reality.
This year, our orchestras all got the rare mauve rating. We don't quite know what this means, though.
Arguments over the meaning broke out between the ghosts and the living, though I suspect that it was over more than just the meaning of the rating.
Yeah, probably. As we may have mentioned earlier, the choir has yet to have their contest. Also, the choir directors would like to remind their students to keep their fingers on the outside of the coffins while moving them about the building.
Good advice. I used to move coffins when I could consistently interact with my physical surroundings. I don't think we knew each other when I was alive, did we?
No, I don't remember when we met, actually, but you've definitely always been dead, at least as far as I can recall.
You don't remember very far back, do you?
No, not past a certain point.
You've started to realize that, have you?
Why are you here again? You have already been here today, you know.
Oh, I know, but you've started to realize that your memory only extends so far. I'm required to tell you that. It's because you're not as old as you think you are.
Wait, what? Why would you say that? My birthday's not on the 29th of February.
You're not as old as you think you are. I'm only telling you because, well, I'd better not say that either.
You're really starting to get on my nerves with all this mystical stuff. And she disappeared again. My statement from earlier should be said again. I will never understand her.
Anyway, back to the topic. Apparently, Lydia arranged for representatives of the choir and band to come talk about their contests, since, contrary to what Misty would have you believe, that is the subject of today's show. While it would have been nice to know that a little more in advance, we always appreciate Lydia's diligence in her work for the station.
Joining us now are Conti from the choir and an anonymous hooded cultist from the band.
Thanks for having us. This is great publicity for the music program, you know?
Well, yes, I believe that was kind of Lydia's idea in setting this up.
Our contest, well, I can't say a lot about it specifically, but you listeners should totally come see us perform. We have a preview concert on February 22nd that will totally exist.
Thanks for sharing that, Conti. What do we need to know about your contest, or the band in general for that matter, anonymous hooded cultist?
Well, you know, we haven't really had our contest yet, unless you count last year's or the other ones that we don't really talk about, or, you know what, this isn't really worth explaining. I mean, you either get it or you don't, you know? Anyway, the directors haven't really told us when the contest is. The whole thing's pretty nebulous and theoretical. It's just hard to explain.
Alright, then.
Thanks to both of you for stopping in today. It's probably been good for the community to hear what's going on. Probably, maybe, even if it is vague.
Thank you for having us.
Informative. I hope that contest goes better for both of them than it did for us.
One would hope so. All we can say at this point is that music, and our dislike of other schools, should transcend our dislike for one another.
And as I said at the beginning, at least I believe it was the beginning, differences between us, such as being dead, alien, or perpetually 17, are what make us better. And as a ghost that hangs out with a living human, I have to say that friendship is about more than the outward differences that people see. It's about interests and activities and being there for people that need you.
We can't stress this enough, listeners. To you, we may just be voiced on the radio, but we're like that to a lot of people. Look, you've already got that in common with a lot of them.
And with that, we'll be signing off. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, happy nightmares.
Welcome to Fairmont is a WKAT production, written and performed by Colleen Fries as Psyche and Alana Orion as Harmony, with guest appearances by McKenna Kramer as Misty, Madeline Taphorn as Conti, and Garrett Morgan as the anonymous band cultist. It is inspired by the podcast Welcome to Nightvale by Jeffrey Craner and Joseph Fink.
Want your voice to be heard on the radio? Don't want to join radio even though it's fun and you totally should? Have ideas for the show? Drop by the media room after school on Tuesday or Thursday, or contact one of us to share your ideas or find out how to become a freshman on the show.
And no, you don't actually have to be a freshman to do it. Tune in 2 weeks for the next installment of Welcome to Fairmont. Until then, happy nightmares.